reunion of Phantasm because Michael's on board. Well, Michael's been to our show, and he contacted us. He's a great guy. And, he wanted to come on his own. So, I told him at that point 2 years ago, 3 years ago coming up, that I would bring him back in because I felt like I wanted to do that for him. So he's coming back, but we have people say, get Angus Scrimm, get everybody, and I'd love to. I really would, but sometimes, guys, it doesn't make economic sense to bring certain people in when everybody else has already seen them. Because you got to remember, diehards will travel. And if they've already been to your show and you get, 1,000, 2,000 people that have already been and seen the same people, or they saw them in Chicago, they're not going to drive 5 hours to see the same people.
No.
Okay?
True.
So that's why, if you guys ever, if you have ideas, I'm game for unique, different. I mean, on any front. If it's, if somebody says, if I get 1,000 people that say they want to see a Puppet Master reunion, I'll make that happen. But, I haven't had 1,000 people do that,
Well, so far you've got a great lineup. I mean, really, it looks like the best lineup of the year. And when you dropped a bombshell on Dead Pit at the beginning of the year, when you shout out to deadpit.com, by the way, the best in horror talk radio.
Yeah, we love that.
You mentioned on there that John Carpenter was coming, and yeah, everybody just exploded over that. And that we watch your festival every year, and we've actually planned to come for several years. And last year was just the first year it really worked out for us. But last year when you announced Roger Corman, it was just like, oh my God, now we have to do this because it's an 8-hour drive for us. But that it's completely worth it.
Even longer when your car breaks down.
Oh yeah, yeah. We have our own saga there, but let's get into that. But let's tell people who all you have lined up so far, so we can get them excited.
I'll tell you, because I've got the Fandom Fest with it, I've got a lot more guests people don't even know about from the horror side that haven't seen it. But I'll tell you who I've got. I've got 4 of the zombie stars from The Walking Dead, the top zombie stars. I haven't even announced this yet, but I've got some original Dawn of the Dead people that are going to come too, so I can have an old zombie versus new zombie kind of face off. So that's going to be
nice.
Nobody's doing that. We have John Carpenter. We have several people from the horror genre. I will name that come. The writer and creator of Dark Knight and Scarecrow, J.D. Fagelson's coming back. Charles Edward Pogue, who wrote The Fly and Psycho 2, and we've got Henry Winkler, of course. We've got Susan Backline from Jaws. We've got Robert Carradine, Donald Gibb, Curtis Armstrong from Revenge of the Nerds, and we've got some more of them working right now. So we're going to bring more of them in too, I believe. I've got 3 other horror people that I'll be announcing in the next 2 months that are really big. Worth the drive alone. And then, we've even got this. This is kind of funny because people ask me about this. On the Fandom Fest side, I've got even I don't know if you guys remember the cartoon. Maybe you don't, and I won't laugh at you if you do. There was an '80s cartoon called Jim and the Holograms.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, they're coming to the show.
No way.
Yeah. See, for anime, they fit into the anime and the Comic-Con part of the show. So I've got them. Now, what's interesting about this is I'm looking to go after somebody. Do you guys remember a movie from the '80s? It was Michael J. Fox's first movie called Midnight Madness with David Naughton. It was a scavenger hunt movie.
Yes.
It was
scavenger hunt movie.
Hilarious. It was a college film. Well, one of the actresses from Jim and the Holograms was in that and one of the co-stars of that film. Well, I'm looking to get a reunion up of some of them, which includes David Naughton, Stephen Furst from Star Trek fame. Okay, he was also Animal House. Okay,
right, yeah.
But I'm even going after Michael J. Fox. I don't know if that'll happen, but we'd love to have Michael. So we're going to see if there's a possibility. Don't count on that one, but we're going to try. And what's unusual is I don't ordinarily give out that I'm going to do it, but it's such a long shot. I don't mind doing it.
Well, and
But
you never know. Somebody might know somebody that knows somebody.
Well, yeah, and if we can do a Parkinson's charity event for him, I have no problem. We're big into charities. But what's cool about something like that is, I don't know if you remember the TV show American Girls, back with Priscilla Barnes, who was in Devil's Rejects, of course, in Three's Company. Well, the girl who's in there, maybe you remember Deborah Klinger from the Klinger Sisters, the rock and roll group, who she was also a super chick, Marty Krofft, back in the 70s. Well, I've been in touch with her, and she's also in Midnight. The movie with Michael J. Fox. I'm just blank on it. Midnight Madness.
It's Midnight Madness, yeah.
Yeah. And so what I love about all this is there's tie-ins. Like, I'm going to bring in people from John Carpenter's movies. I'm not saying who, but I'm going after some heavy hitters, and some of the other ones who aren't heavy hitters, but that are really great guests that nobody's ever had, or they don't do the circuit in this region. They've only done one or two shows. So that's going to be really cool. But we've got Jeremy Bulloch, Boba Fett coming in, which I love. We've got the American Graffiti reunion. We've got Candy Clark, who was Buffy the Vampire Slayer's mom in the movie Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So,
right.
Which is cool. But she's done a lot of stuff herself. Cindy Williams, one half of Laverne and Shirley. Paula Matt from Puppet Master, who's also American Graffiti. So there's multiple tie-ins that we're trying to tie in horror and pop culture together. So we're just really looking forward to some of these other guests that help out to make everything well-rounded. Because I've got more horror guests. I wish I could say it, but I can't right now. But we're working on contracts right now.
Cool.
Well, you have a fantastic lineup so far. So it can only get better from here on out. We actually just worked with Addie Miller, the Walking Dead girl.
Yeah.
She was in Charlotte.
Yeah.
She was in Charlotte for Ghost Trek, and we worked on that set.
Yeah.
And she's a real sweetheart. And pretty much everybody on the set was wanting to get their picture with her. She's like blowing up right now.
Oh yeah, yeah. And what's cool about it is that you never know where these zombies are going to be in 20 years. Like the Dawn that did the Cult. I mean, this is the maybe not the number one show on cable, but one of the most talked about, and the ratings have been phenomenal. It's in the top 10 shows.
It was the most watched drama last year. Absolutely.
It was the most watched drama. So, when you look at that, people would be crazy not to want to meet these people because you don't know what's going to happen in 2 years, whether it just gets canceled all of a sudden, ratings slide. But the point is, that's history, because a horror drama has never, ever been number one, ever in the history of cable.
Wow.
So that's a big deal, So I'm excited. I'm excited for the gaming programming that we're adding. I'm excited for the anime. I'm excited for the new film festival we're adding, which is all films from sci-fi on up. And then we're able to bring in sci-fi people, which, guys, if you look at the Sci-Fi Channel, it's become the horror sci-fi channel. It's both, sci-fi and horror together, And I love sci-fi. And, as you guys probably enjoy sci-fi too as well, in some capacity. One of my favorites, I don't know if you guys are into this or not, but Firefly was absolutely one of my favorites of all time. I mean, even
Joss Whedon is fantastic.
Oh, Joss Whedon is a genius, and I'm so mad as hell that they took that thing off. But I'm a brown coat forever, and if you what's great about that is what's great about Star Trek, guys. If you took all the characters, I don't care if you took them 150 years from now and put them on TV, it would work because it was a space western. It didn't matter if it was 1,000 years in the future. It works because universal principles of great writing will always work. The same with horror movies. So hopefully we get some more great horror movies soon.
Well, Ken, you should really be proud of the way that your festival and your convention has turned out so far, because we had so much fun last year. I mean, we came early, got there Friday, stayed the whole weekend, really tried to take advantage of everything. I mean, that meant going to the drive-in,
which by the way, I loved your drive-in intro.
Thank you.
You guys, I mean, I'm proud of what you did because you guys took it for exactly the way we're trying to get the people like you to get it. You got what we were trying to do. We took Roger to a drive-in. I mean, that's where he started.
Right.
That's where he made most of his money. I mean, he all his movies started out playing at the drive-ins,
mm-hmm.
and it was unique. I mean, here's an Oscar winner at the drive-in, enjoying himself and loving
mm-hmm.
the food. And he said it's so enjoyable to watch his movie on the screen. He hasn't seen it on the drive-in screen in 27 years. So it was an honor to, and you guys handled it right. How you did everything, and like I said, hopefully you guys get your all's butt back up here because we want you guys to be in our our podcast area because I'm going to give you guys a booth for that because I want people like you to be able to interview people and do it justice and that's what we need. I don't want bad podcasters who don't treat it with the respect they should and we can't do this without you guys, your fans, the Dead Pit fans. Like this year, I'm going to spill the beans. We got a Dead Pit wedding going on. I haven't told anybody else yet. I haven't announced it. But
oh my God!
Oh wow!
I'm going to get Uncle Bill married.
Wow!
So all the the pit heads and the deadheads, whatever you want to call them, the pit heads,
but maniacs.
Maniacs, right? We're going to get them all there, and we're going to have a celebrity that's going to be involved in the wedding, and it's just going to be killer. We got Tiffany Shepard's coming back.
Awesome.
We love Tiffany,
right?
So we'll get her to be in the wedding, and you guys can be a witness, and we'll have a wedding cake and everything, guys. So, and Dead Pit has its party, and this is what I want from you guys. Dead Pit, because they've been there since day one, gets to help us to do things at the show. We want Mutantville and 15 other podcasts to group together to make one inside event with us that's never been done, and it blows up. Because I'll tell you what I'm wanting to do. I want us to be a mini Dragon Con. I want to get 10,000 people for horror and sci-fi and all Fandom Fest that we're doing, but make it approachable so that it's not out of hand. Because when you get too big, like certain shows,
on the
Dragon Con is there now, definitely.
Yeah. I mean, the good people, they really try. I love the show. It's just too big. It's not as organized as some people complain about it. And, every promoter has a problem. Some things are out of their control. But if you've got 10,000 people and you've got a show that people love, then you guys can have little parties within parties, and all of a sudden, 10 years down the road, you've got memories. And that's what I want you guys to make. I want memories that you can't get anywhere else. And I want Mutantville and its team to be a part of, and the fans those Mutantville fans to be a part of their group. Whether they come wearing Mutantville shirts, whether because if you, as you guys go along, if you say one day, Ken, I'd like to program an hour or two of the convention, which I'm letting some fan groups do, great, come on.
Awesome.
If we can fit it in and work it out, I would love for that to occur because it doesn't work without you guys, people like you. It's all about you guys. And here's what I tell people: if I was doing this to make money, or anything to make money, I wouldn't be doing this. I'd be selling porn or something that's going to be like a lot more money. Well, probably not porn because you can get that for free, and it just really doesn't work right now. But I'd be selling cars, making $100,000, But I do this for love because I truly, it stresses me out the day of the show because I want things to work right. But the truth is, I'm in love with it. I would do what I can. I mean, I put money in to the show where it lost money, but it's it's okay because we want people to support the show, and it's grown tremendously. So I'm just hoping that people keep loving what we're doing and realize, man, because if you're in this area or you're 8 hours away and there's friends you want to see, you can come to this show and have 100 Mutantville fans hanging out together And that's the kind of church experience I want.